hello, hello. It's Monday morning, so Taryn and I are recording. That almost rhymes. Taryn, how was your weekend?
It was good. I enjoyed the rainy weather that we got yesterday. It was nice to kind of just have a stormy day at home.
It was a stormy day, but it wasn't nice for me because I was driving home from Georgia.
Yeah, that mess would not have been pleasant to drive through, that's for sure.
On 95 South, no. And I really felt for the 95 North because that was bumper to bumper anyway with spring break people, leaving the state, goodbye, and take your spring break selves with you. It was a slow boat for these people because they were already going to be bumper to bumper, but then in that weather, we were driving only 45 miles an hour at best.
Wow.
And, yeah, it was pretty scary. A lot of emergency flashers going.
Yeah, we had made it home from church pretty much just as it really kind of everything broke loose. So we had good timing, but yeah, it was stay inside after that.
Yes, for sure. And we've got a lot of limbs down and a lot of mess to clean up now.
Yeah.
We have a lot of good stuff to talk about, not storms in Florida, because those are pretty much, we're about to hit that season where that's
it's about to be part of our daily life.
That's just part of that's part of our daily lives. If you know anything about Florida, especially Central Florida, you know that when it hits about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, this time of year, all the way through the end of summer, 4 o'clock, we have a massive storm, and then it's over, and it's as humid as you will ever want it to be. So exactly. We're going to talk today, though, about the agents who are coming to Florida Christian Writers Conference in October of this year. And we are very, very excited. We're going to start off, and these are in alphabetical order, I think. We are going to start off with Sally Pocadoc, and she is your agent. So you want to talk about her just a little bit?
I would love to talk about her. Sally Pocadoc is a wonderful agent. I truly feel honored to be represented by her. The name of her agency is the Pocadoc Literary Agency. A little bit of history. She actually used to be part of Les Dobie's agency, and then she did a great job there, but then he retired. And so she just started her own, and I've been with her kind of ever since she's been with Les. And she's great. She represents so much. She does both the Christian market, the CBA, but also the general market. Mm-hmm. So I know that there are a lot of you who have expressed interest in writing for the general market, and she is an excellent agent. If you can get a chance to talk to her, which we offer that chance.
That's right. That's right.
Conference. So I do recommend, if you write. She doesn't write, she represents from children really all the way up to adult, both fiction and nonfiction. And she is an agent who represents or who is interested in spec. So, and I know a lot of you spec writers are like, we have such a hard time finding agents. Check out Sally.
Yes, absolutely. And, we are going to have, these people, their bios, their pictures, etc. These agents that we're talking about, they're going to be up at our website, or they may already be up at our website.
They are.
Taryn's responsible for that, and she's my go-getter. So it's done. One of the things I love about Sally is not only does she represent children's book writers, but boy, does she know the children's book industry. And when I say children's book, I mean anything from board books all the way up through YA. Whether it's fiction or nonfiction, she knows her business. And so having Sally represent you would be absolutely awesome. Okay, our next one in alphabetical order, I hope, is Del Dwight. And I always laugh when we talk about, because the first time we met Del, he came to the conference with his wife, Angie. And he was a writer. I mean, he was a writer wannabe. And I think he had just been picked up by Kyle Young. And now he is actually one of the agents for the Kyle Young literary, what is it called? Kyle Young Elite, because it's Cyle. And that's how Kyle spells his name, which is pretty brilliant. But we had the hardest time with his last name because of the way it's spelled. We were like, we don't know how to pronounce this. And now we do. Right. But something even better is that this is going to be Del's birthday. So he is coming to spend his birthday with us. I think everybody should bring him a card. so that he goes home with hundreds of cards.
That's right.
That would be a lot of fun. Dell is not only an excellent agent, he's a wonderful writer as well. So he knows both sides of the coin. I'm just going to run through this. Taryn read it off to me just a moment ago, so I wrote it down. He represents those who write nonfiction, Christian living, motivational, inspirational, inspirational and gift. In other words, leadership books, sports and recreation. If you know Dell, he's a huge sports fan, and almost all of his books, I believe, have some kind of a sports bent to them. Healthy living or healthy lifestyle books. He's interested in those. Travel and cooking. And you know what? It's not easy to find an agent who's interested in representing travel and cooking, but Dale is.
Absolutely. And he's got a great sense of humor. He's very easy to talk to. So I think that he's going to make a nice addition. He came last year as an agent and I know signed quite a few of our conferees. Yes, so that was a very encouraging time for them.
Yes, it is. And you know, that's the thing. He's a new agent, relatively new to the business. And you know, these are the guys who are hungry for good talent and fresh talent. And so these are the ones you want to make sure you make an appointment with every agent that you possibly can, because your agent is your gateway to the editors. Now, the conference is also the gateway to the editors and and the publishers, et cetera. But once you leave the arena of the conference, it's nice to have an agent who is in your kind of just like, you know, in the game with you.
Yeah, they're fighting for you.
Yeah, because here's the thing, and you know this as well as I do, because you know you're represented by an agent, and so am I. This is a business. This is an industry. This, even though we are Christian publishers and Christian writers and all of that, this is still an industry, and a lot of money is involved, and therefore it becomes a legal entity as well. So you want an agent who understands the legalities of publishing. Not just, you know, well, I have an attorney. Well, you know, your attorney helped set up your trust fund or whatever for your kid. They're not going to understand legalese. So these are the guys that they're going to be there for you to help protect you and make sure that what's best for you is also, you know, looked at and taken care of.
And that is absolutely one of the perks of having an agent. They will fight for you. They'll try to get a really good deal for you on those contracts. Another reason that you would want an agent is to get into those bigger publishing houses. Yes. If I was just on my own, I couldn't write a story and send it off to Scholastic or Random House. Yes. It would go straight in their trash can because they only accept submissions by agented authors. Yeah. And it's my agent's job is to kind of to work that angle. So if you want to be published by the bigger houses, you need to get an agent. So definitely check out these agents.
Yeah. And here's another thing I know as a managing editor at Firefly Southern Fiction, that many times we say we only work with those who have, you know, agents. And one of the reasons why is because then if there is an issue or a problem, we then go through the agent, and then you go through the agent. And that helps keep the author-editor relationship intact. It's like, okay, now we're talking business, you know, and when you're talking business, it needs to be through the agent. If there's a problem, whether it's something that the author now feels like, wait a minute, I feel like the publishing house is not representing me well or doing something great for me or whatever, that's when the agent steps in, and then vice versa. If a publishing house has issues with authors, and they do happen, they do go through the agent and let the agent handle it. And it's a nice way to be. Okay, so here's our next one, Linda Glaze. And of course, we always get is that Glaze or Glaze? But it is Glaze. Linda Glaze. Tell us a little bit about her.
She is with the Heartline Agency. And she's a sucker for fiction.
Yeah.
She loves good fiction, but that doesn't mean to say she doesn't represent nonfiction. So you want to tell a little bit more on those details?
Yeah, she is a sucker for fiction. You're right. And I have had the joy of rooming with Linda at another conference. And oh my goodness, she does love good fiction. She knows good fiction. She knows this industry. She knows her business. So she would be, if you like to write within these genres, listen carefully, romance, contemporary, suspense, historical. In fact, she says at her website that she doesn't represent kids lit, but she will represent just about anything if it's well written. That's her number one rule. You got to write it well. Also, nonfiction, if you are an expert in your field. So, for example, I would not go to Linda and say that I'm going to write a book on brain surgery, and because she would say, no, you're not an expert. But hey, I might be able to write a book on being Southern, because I'm Southern. And she would say, okay, you are definitely someone I would represent. Our next one is, and we're excited about this. We just got the news. Tessa Hall is going to come.
Yes, and she is also with the Kyle Young Literary Elite, and she is so sweet. And she represents kids as well. Well, specifically YA. For those of you who enjoy writing for the young adult audience, she's your girl.
Yeah.
You want to tell a little bit, and I think she does spec as well.
She does. She's very big into spec, and in fact, she is an acquisitions editor in the spec field. So she's kind of got her eyes looking in both directions. If you're not right for the house that she represents, then she will help you find another house, another publishing house. But yes, she knows the YA and the spec publishing world very, very well, at fantasy YA, spec YA, etc. So that's why we're so excited that she's not only because we love her, because we do. And she wasn't able to come last year, but we're so excited to see her again.
She's a great teacher as well. And so it'll be great to have some classes.
Yeah. What I love about Tessa is Tessa looks like she's like maybe 15 years old. And she has this very soft voice. But she's much older than she appears, and she knows her business. So again, we don't bring anybody in that we don't think is excellent. Well, except this last one.
Yeah, he's questionable.
It's questionable. What is his name?
That would be Mr. Bob Hostetler.
Oh yes. What about Bob?
What about Bob? Oh, Bob.
We do love to pick on Bob.
He's a great one. Yes. It would not be a conference if we didn't have Bob, I have to say.
Yes, that. Well, it would be a conference, but gosh,
it wouldn't be as fun.
It really would. And Bob is with?
He is with the Steve Lobby.
Yes.
Lobby.
Yes.
That's another one I never know how to pronounce.
Just think in terms of he will lobby for your book.
There you go. It's a great way to remember it. He is with the Steve Lobby Agency, which if you don't know, you should know, is one of the top agencies in the CBA.
Yes. And we asked them to send us their best, and the best they could do was Bob, but we'll take it. So, no, all kidding aside, not only does Bob represent just a tremendous span of genres, but we often ask Bob to give our final keynote. Typically 9 times out of 10, 10 times out of 10, our keynoter leaves on Saturday. And Bob steps in for the Sunday morning, let's get out there and do this thing presentation. And he is just nothing short of amazing and inspiring. I mean, he just lights a fire under people when he speaks. And this is like, all kidding aside, because we do love to pick on Bob, and Bob pretty much loves to pick on us, but this is the truth of the matter. This is a man who walks with God, undeniably walks with God, and then has this way of just lighting that fire under believers to walk closer with God, but then also believers who are writers to walk closer with God and to give everything they have to God in their writing, in their work, in their presentations, whatever it is that they do. He truly is an inspiration, and we do love him, and we are so excited. Let me just run down this little gamut that he has here for fiction, contemporary, historical, mystery, romance, thrillers, all kinds of nonfiction, he says. But as a rule, when it comes to nonfiction, no cookbooks or poetry. Yeah, I can't picture Bob cooking, nor can I picture him reciting sonnets. It just won't happen. He doesn't want to see anything that's academic. So if you've written a textbook, he's not your guy. Biographical or memoir, anything like theological Bible studies, things like that. And then also with fiction, no fantasy, sci-fi, horror, middle grade, or YA. So while he runs the gamut on one side, we've got other people who run the gamut on another side. And so I think we have a very well-rounded group of agents who are coming to Florida Christian Writers Conference in October of this year.
Absolutely. And what the great thing about agents too, I just wanted to mention, is they are usually looking, I would say 10 times out of 10, they are looking to represent the author. They are not looking to represent a piece of work. And
Right.
So that being said, once you have an agent, you can continue to, share with them your
Yes.
work that you've written.
Yes.
If you're one of that person who's like, well, I have one book in me, write
Don't
more.
say that. Never say that. Never say that. I only have one book. No. Don't say that.
Write more.
Yeah, right. Exactly. No, because agents and editors, publishers want to establish a relationship with you, not just a one book deal. One hit wonders, or that's all that is,
Yeah.
They really do want a relationship with you. So keep that in mind when you come and attend. Now, we are open for business.
Mm-hmm.
We are up and running.
Yeah, registration's going strong.
Registration is already going strong. Yay. But remember, just like last year, we are going to practice our COVID restrictions. And so once we hit a certain number, that's where we will cut things off. Now, our early bird special runs until what date?
July 1st. Everything needs to be paid in full by July 1st.
Yes, paid in full but you can put a deposit down, $300 deposit. Yes, for now. That gives you plenty of time. And if you are in that early bird group, you get a lot of good things like $100 off,
Mm-hmm.
the 20% off in the bookstore, and that's 20% off of your total sale. Okay, you get that. You get the free downloads of all the classes and all the general sessions. And the first, how many get the VIP breakfast?
The first 30.
30.
And like we said, registrations have started. So that number is definitely less than 30.
Yeah. So the VIP breakfast it's set up in a private dining room. Taryn has been doing this for years. Sally will be doing it now, not Sally at Pocadoc. We're not going to ask Sally to do that now. But Sally, whose last name I can never pronounce, go ahead.
Freisha? I think it's Freisha.
Freisha. Yes. Okay. So Sally is now our social director. And so she's going to have that set up very bling bling and glamorous and fun. And we have special speakers who come in. So you get your tray in the line, and then you go into this private dining room, and you eat and you have a speaker, and that's what the VIP breakfast is all about. But because of COVID restrictions, we are not able to fit like the 75 or 80 we have been able to fit in there in the past. We have to keep that number down. So we're stopping at 30 for the VIP early bird.
Early bird. Right.
Okay.
Excellent. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's it for this week. My husband has turned on the television and it's entirely too loud. So I'm going to stop it now.
Excellent.
Anyway.
All right. We'll see y'all later then.
All right. We'll see you next week. Talk to you then. For now, goodbye.